let's look at how we add text inputs to a page as well as plain text elements to that same page. We'll need our search page open for this, and we're going to add some stuff, as I promised, to the column section. So right at the top in our column section, let's add an app text. And as you might guess, this is just some plain text that we can add. Well, not so plain, because of course we can style it, but for our purposes it will be plain. And we're going to say this will have a width of, and we're just going to steal the parent's width. Okay, so this is going to take the width from column, just to be clear. Now, because this is text and it's a lot of text, or could be a lot of text, we need to tell it how to wrap the text, i.e. I want you to break in the middle of a word, the end of a word. I want you to have an ellipsis to truncate everything. And the way we do that is by defining the wrap mode. And the wrap mode, it sounds like a rap song or something, doesn't it? Text.wrap at word boundaries, the end of a word, or anywhere. I'm not quite sure what it means by anywhere, but we'll see what that means. I've made a slight error there. I shouldn't have a colon. I should have a period. So wrap mode. We should give this a pixel size or a font. Font dot pixel size will be something like screen point of 12. Now you'll notice it doesn't use DP, it uses SP. And that's because fonts are slightly differently defined than you would with device points or whatever they're called. I'm sure I've got that wrong, but no matter. Then, of course, it's a text box, so we should have some text in it. And what are we going to do? Well, first we're going to set up for translation, QSTR. And we're going to say something like, use the form below, which will be the input box we're about to create, to search for houses to buy. And then we'll put some more information. You can search by, let's see, by place name, postcode, or click or click my location, because we're going to add some location-based services into this to automatically get it. What else are we going to add to this? I don't think we need to add anything else. We can say that my location is to search your current location, but I think that should be pretty obvious. That's kind of a usability obvious one. So I'm just going to tab this across to make it neat, and I'm going to save it. So now we've saved that. Let's hit up the live view and see what we get. We should have a nice bit of text in our column. There it is, and we can see clearly that there is a content padding that's being applied evenly to the sides and the top. Unfortunately, my little line break is coming through. So what I'm going to do is bring this back up here and just get rid of some of this white space. I didn't know it would do that. I've been using Angular lately, and you can run that across multiple lines. Okay, so that's our first bit of app text. Now, what else do we need to tell the user? Well, this is kind of a demo app, so it would be nice if there was a quick way for them to use it. Or, as in your case, you're exploring this vPlay technology to see if it's any good for you. So I'm going to put some app text in that tells you how to use the demo app really quickly. So we're going to have a width, parent, width. We're going to have our font dot pixel size again as SP12. What else are we going to have? We can actually set a color for this, and we can grab the color from our theme dot secondary, probably text color. Okay, so we haven't themed anything yet, but we might get into that, or we might not. I think that's kind of beyond the scope of this because you just want to learn the basics. And we can also set some properties such as italics. So font italic, this is a Boolean true. And then we can lay out some text. We can translate that text, as always, to hint. You can quickly find something by typing London without the ellipsis, because that's going to confuse some people. You wouldn't believe the bad reviews I've had on the app stores because I do things like that sometimes. Some people. Anyway, London. And then we have to give this, again, a wrap mode, which is, if we're copying the last one, text dot, and let's just type anywhere and see if it picks it up. No, it doesn't. So we actually have to start with the beginning wrap at word boundary, although it's not doing anything. There we go. Wrap at word boundary or anywhere. So that's our second text field. And if we save that and just look at our live server real quick, you'll see that has come up as a separate block. Okay, and because these are contained in a column, you'll recall that before, what did we do? I had things listed one below the other. I can't remember where I did it. It was the very first app we made where we just had an image and a bit of text. And they didn't align because they didn't know about each other. But what we do with a column is a column stacks things one on top of each other, as you might expect. So a column's pretty useful for layouts. Okay, now what are we going to do? Well, we're going to get to the input part of this, which is defined as an app text field. A field is a place where you can enter text. Now, this is going to require an ID, unlike the previous two texts, because we need to access this search input and use it to go and search for things. As usual, our width is the parent dot width. What else are we going to have? Well, because this is text entry, we want to give the user an easy life and show them a clear button if they've made a mistake, so they can just delete the whole line and start again. Now, we don't want to put text in here, but we would like to show a hint. And you can show a hint by using what's called the placeholder text property. So we'll set this as our translatable string. What's this going to be called? Search. You can put anything you like there, obviously. And then finally, what are we going to have? Well, we're going to suggest a way that the user enters things using the keyboard. So when a keyboard pops up on your mobile device, you might get a full text keyboard, you might get a number keyboard, you might get an email modified keyboard, so the @ key is really easy to hit, or a domain modified one, so when you hold down the dot key, it gives you .co.uk, .com, .whatever. And we're going to do the same kind of thing here using the input method hints. So this is going to probably request the system to display a certain kind of keyboard or behavior. And this is going to be IMH, no predictive text. And you'll see there are loads of things there. If we just go back to IMH, you can scroll through them all and it tells you what we've got. None, prefer lowercase, prefer numbers. Okay, so let's have no predictive text. And the reason we're doing that is because place names or postcodes tend not to play well with predictive text. Actually, place names will play all right. So if we save that, and we open up our live view once again, all the way at the end, there we have our search. And if I click search, I can type things. Now, if you're running this on a real device, a keyboard would actually pop up. Obviously, because we're running this on Windows, there is no keyboard. As soon as you start typing, that placeholder goes away, but we also have access to this clear text. So we can hit it and it says search. Okay, so that's it for adding text elements and input elements.